You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge. Lady Mocha represent Mocha's Ladies Lounge, where I'm always sharing wisdom and knowledge from a spiritual perspective pertaining to a lot of these different reality shows and current events, different things that are occurring around the world. So nevertheless, I really want to thank so much of y'all for subscribing to my channel. My numbers have been really flourishing, and I do have to thank all of the subscribers for that. Y'all been putting people on to my channel and supporting me. Big ups to Black Titanic, Caramel Rail, True Tea. It's so many that I can't even think of, but I know those are the main ones that I pretty much support the most, for the most part. But big up to all of the women that are blogging, keeping a lot of us informed on these reality shows like Love and Marriage in Huntsville, because honestly, I don't watch Love and Marriage in Huntsville like I used to. So this is the reason why I watch a lot of different bloggers, and I just kind of piggyback off of them, but I share my own narratives because I have just totally given up on that show. I've been flatlined once they started allowing Martell to be able to get away with so much. Martell being able to disrespect, not only that, Marcel and Tisha. I just witnessed too many people coming for Mel, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I guess I was too emotionally invested in the show, and I fell off. I just lost all my interest in Love and Marriage in Huntsville based on the fact it's too many male haters, on the show. And even those that are new to the show, like Stormy and her mother, they have to gun for Mel. Everybody keeps gunning for Mel. It's like I have to make Mel. Gunning for Mel is my storyline. I'd rather gun for Mel than to be transparent about my real issues. Marceau, Tisha, or Tissue. Same thing with Stormy and her mother. I just, that's the new storyline. Let's attack Mel and drag Mel through the mud. And I'm just over it. And Carlos is like a teacher sitting in the classroom, and you're seeing a student getting bullied. You're seeing a student get attacked, and you're steady teaching the class. You steady writing on the chalkboard, acting like you don't see the student sitting in the corner, and other kids are throwing papers, throwing airplanes, spitballs, and you're just walking right past it like, okay, class, today we're going to learn about the first astronaut who discovered the moon. You're just steadily going on. So I'm just over it. So I will continue to listen to Caramel Rail, Black Titanic, and all of these other bloggers who have information on the current things that's going on for Love and Marriage in Huntsville, because I'm just over it. I've been over it, and I just can't do it, but it is what it is. But yeah, that is the reason why I don't watch Love and Marriage in Huntsville. But big ups to all the bloggers who are, so they can keep us informed. So anyway, I definitely felt it was imperative that I talked about this. I've always been anti-Martel. As a matter of fact, I am currently in the process, because you ladies know I already got my own customized craft business where I make tumblers, cups, sublimated purses. I make all type of different accessories, and I'm currently making a t-shirt. It's in the making. The No Martel Mammy Zone. I'm going to be producing those shirts very soon because I'm just so tired of women that are caping for Martel, making excuses for him, defending him. And, I strongly believe there's so many women out here who have been damaged and tainted. And it's a lot of women out here who have endured all type of different levels of abuse, whether if it was mental, financial, emotional, or spiritual. And I think because of that, you have a lot of women that try to empathize with men like Martel. I apologize, y'all. Every time I'm getting ready to do my blog, and my husband always calls. He calls at the worst time, but I didn't tell him I was going live this morning either. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I strayed away from the show for that reason, but nevertheless, there's still, there's still trouble still brewing for Martell Holt. He still has not faced the reality that the damage that he has done to his marriage, he is still paying the debt for it, and that debt is known as karma. And as the good word says, you reap what you sow. And that's just the bottom line. I don't think he has fully accepted his responsibility. He's not accepting the consequences that he's facing. Martel still feels entitled to all of what he had during the duration of his marriage to Martel, of his marriage to Melanie, not understanding that once he violated those vows, once he defiled their marital union, that he lost all access to the blessings that was in store for him. As Proverbs chapter 6 verse 32 says, he who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself. So word on the curve, y'all, is that Martel has still been bombing, not doing well. He recently had a court case with Mel, and I've got all this information from 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼, y'all. Please make sure y'all subscribe to her. Also Black Titanic, also True Tea. So I'm sharing with y'all a little bit of everything that I got from these ladies here. I can't remember who said what, but I know they are the sources where I got my information from, because you know me, I'm going to give credit to what credit is due. I'm not going to get up here and act like I did all the research and I did all the work, because honey, I don't have that kind of time. So big ups to the ladies that got that kind of time, like 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼 and True Tea and Black Titanic. Big ups to all of those ladies. But word on the curve is he did not get what he thought he was going to get from the recent hearing that took place. He was really trying to go for the gusto. Martel was trying to get profit off of Sugar Mama's hairline, not understanding that Mel played her cards right and made sure that she did not give the product the child's real name, and she also made it to where another entity actually made the product. So basically Martel couldn't capitalize off of that. Martel basically had the attorney poking the bear, asking questions that was really irrelevant, but that was his way of trying to sneakingly get some information, like, are you dating someone? The attorney, I can't quote exactly if it was the attorney or the judge, but basically which I felt was very unfair, Martel used the judge or attorney to poke the bear, do his dirty work. And we know that Martel is the king of getting people to do his dirty work, like he would allow Ariane Air Mattress to disrespect his wife because he know he couldn't do it directly, so he would use her as a puppet to do it. That is what Martell does when he wants to really try to conquer someone. He will get other people to join in because he's not strong enough to do the dirty work by himself. So he has to get other people to join forces, just like he did with Melanie. He had to get Tisha, Marcel, everybody that else that was part of the cast that was also beefing with Melanie. He had to join forces with them. And he wonders why Melanie would never take him back. Like, seriously, everything that you have done, your loyalty will never, your loyalty will always be questioned. Your loyalty will never been genuine. You have really revealed who you truly are. His ultimate goal was to get to get it granted to him to be able to receive any of the profits that Mel was receiving through Sugar Mama's hair product line. So of course this is Martell's this is his usual method. You know, he's always contemplating on coming up with a new tactic as to how he can earn some money through Mel. Basically, Martell does not want to work, and you have to realize Melody really spoiled Martell, and that's the beauty of having a marriage. Having your significant other not so much in a sense spoil you, but bless you with a lifestyle in which you don't have to struggle, in which you don't have to want for anything. That is the blessing. That is one of the blessings of having a marriage, which he ruined. So when he was married to Melanie, he was able to enjoy the fruits of her labor, and them being able to travel together, spend together, make money together. He ruined all of that when he decided to allow his lust to lead him to fornicate with air mattress Ariane. That's what I'm gonna call her, air mattress Ariane. So he ruined all of that, and he does not want to let go of that lifestyle. So by any means necessary, he's going to try to come up with all type of schemes, plots through the court systems to try to get the judge to grant in his favor, to be able to get Mel to pay him for whatever monies she makes for her children. Now, keep in mind, he's not paying any child support. If Audacity was truly a person, Martell's face would be the poster child, because he definitely has the audacity. You already not paying child support. Most men in Martell's situation try to run away because they don't want to provoke the woman or make the mother of their children mad, to where now she's going after him in his pockets. She's taking him for everything he has. Most men, if they have a female, if they had a baby mama, ex-wife that does what Melanie does, hey, just spend time with the kids and, you know, hold up your deal of the visitation. We cool. You don't have to pay me anything. It's so many men in America that would die to have that type of opportunity, to be able to be with their children and not have to pay a dime. Here it is. Not only does Martell get to see his children not paying a dime, not honoring his child support, but on top of that, he has the audacity to still seek more money that he's not even deserving of. Melanie is not his wife. Had he stayed with his wife, humbled himself, did the right thing, he could have been winning. He's losing. So most losers who end up losing, after a while they got nothing to lose, and they don't care how far they got to take things to get what they want. And Martell has reached a desperate state, even if it means embarrassing himself, even if it means looking less than a man. He's willing to do that for a paycheck, because that is just how much this man does not want to have to go out there and work hard, because this just goes to show you how much he really has not contributed in that marriage. Because you have men that even when their wives divorce them, they go out there and grind. That's just part of being a man. You work, you make money, you provide. That's just being a man. And this goes to show you who's been really wearing the pants in the marriage this whole time. It's really been male. It's really been male, because now that he does not have male, he's doing what a woman would do. Usually women who have been very codependent on their husbands or codependent on a significant other, women are normally the ones that take their husbands or ex-husbands or whatever, baby daddy, back and forth to court. This is something we've known women to do. Now, let's not get it twisted. A lot that don't make it right now, because a lot of women be doing it out of bitterness and revenge. However, that's something that's known in women's nature to do. To see a man go so hard, this goes to show you who was really dominating, who was really the man in this marriage, who was really the provider in this marriage. And it's been male the whole time, because this man would not give it a break. A lot of men that I know who had to pay alimony, child support, and all of that, it didn't stop their stride. They're progressing. They doing bigger and better. They own their own businesses, even if it's just cutting grass, a lawn care business. They do construction, or they work at an auto mechanic shop. You got men out here that's working, and they enjoy working, because that's all a part of being a man. And Martell is trying to hide. He's been hiding behind his wife, who was really the one putting in work all this time. And had things not been exposed and not derailed the way that it did, Martell still would have been around here looking like the man, because that's what we initially thought he was, especially in the first season of Love and Marriage in Huntsville, when I used to watch it, when it was interesting to me. But like I said, it hasn't been interesting to me the last 3-4 seasons, to be honest. But anyway, nobody would have known how much of a loser he was. We would not have known how much Mel was really the breadwinner. We was fooled too, Arion Air Mattress. So I get why you was walking around talking your big noise. Mel ain't got nothing. Martell got everything. Mel can't live without Martell. I get why you was thinking like that, because the first season we got fooled too. He was there in the conferences with the kids, with Mel. He up there playing a role and ain't been doing a damn thing. Like a backup dancer. Like Michelle Williams with Destiny's Child. You just there. You really don't have much to offer, but you look good in the group. No disrespect to Michelle Williams, but I like the original Destiny's Child. But Latavia and Latoya, but I don't care. Let's move on. But anyway, so Mel made you look great. She made you look great. But looking back, we noticed that Mel was the one doing the majority of the talking. Martell always just kind of set in the clouds, you know what I mean? So she made them really look good. And it's a lot of women out here that are making their broke down, tired ass husbands look good. So anyway, that's the latest that went down. And of course, he was not rewarded anything, because Mel did come on alive and say that everything went well. She didn't go into details, but that was her way of low-key speaking in codes, letting her followers know that he didn't get a goddamn thing. 1 for Mel, 0 for Martell. That's where we back at the same, we're right back at it. And he's not understanding. He's trying to go hard. He's relentless. And it comes a point when you have to, this is where spiritual discernment comes in at. You have to realize when things keep slapping you in your face, that is God's way of trying to tell you something. If you keep knocking down the door and it won't answer, or it keeps getting locked or blocked, that's a red flag that God is dealing with you. And maybe he wants you to humble yourself or submit yourself to him. But like Martell, when you are not in the spirit, you will submit to your flesh and let the flesh tell you, no, you need to get more money. No, you need to find another way to get this judge to grant this. You will become more and more and more relentless, thinking that you're going to have your way one way or another. And that is where Martell keeps making himself more frustrated, because you keep trying to beat a dead horse, and you're not understanding it has nothing to do with the courts. It has nothing to do with the money you think you're entitled to. It has nothing to do with how you want to conquer male. What it has to do with the fact is you are reaping what you sow. Galatians chapter 6 verses 7 through 8. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that will also he reap. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption, but the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. Martel's not understanding. Your flesh is what is causing you to have to reap the seeds that you have sown. The courts is not going to help you, Martel. It's not the courts. Because you're not dealing with the Lord, and you won't submit to him, and you will not get to that broken place in which you realize that, you know what, everything I've been trying have been an epic fail. I've been trying to destroy this woman, but in the midst, I'm destroying myself. I'm not prospering. I'm not growing. I'm not getting ahead. Until you get to the realization of that, your flesh is going to mislead you every single time. And that's what's going on. Proverbs 10, chapter 10, verse 9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. And Martel, that's exactly what happened. You've always been a crook. You never meant your wife well, even in that marriage. And God knew it, and that is the reason why he allowed all the skeletons in your closet to manifest, because you have never been right. And God, and because male is a child of God, has a relationship with him, he was not about to allow his daughter to keep getting used, abused, and manipulated. And that is why he allowed all your crooked ways to be manifested. Not only in your household, but also across the nation. Anybody who sees Martel, I don't care if you run into Martel at Starbucks, the library, or the gas station, or the chicken and rib hut place. He tarnished himself. Anybody who sees him knows that he has destroyed not only his marriage, but he has destroyed himself. He has to walk with that scarlet letter. He has to walk that hall of shame. And all of that comes with the territory when you do not honor your vows. So he already, for the 205th time, still not being successful with the courts. And from what I heard, Caramel Rail was saying something in alignment of the judge that's over the proceedings of that case is pretty sexist, allegedly. So, he was at first appearing to be in the favor of Martel, but at the end, he still didn't give Martel what he wanted. Yes, he was poking the bear, asking Melanie questions, taking the bait that Martel offered. But even with all of that, and even though Melanie didn't get the full custody that she really wanted, most importantly, Martel didn't get what he really wanted. He really wanted to leave that court with some money, because Martel is too lazy to get a job. He does not want to work. You got to realize this man been capitalizing off his wife for years. And for 3 years, he's been struggling, moving from house to house, apartment to apartment. And, he's become so accustomed to his wife taking care of everything. Now that he has to man up and take care of himself, he's lost in the sauce. And he's resorting to what he's always done, which is use. and manipulate versus going out there getting a job versus going out there getting his builder license, going to school and getting his builder license. He's too lazy for that. He has gotten so used to sitting on the passenger side while Melanie does all the driving. And now that he has to man up, he can't. He can't do it. He's so used to sitting on the passenger side and chilling and just giving instruction. Pull to the left, pull to the right, slow down, speed up. He's used to giving orders, but he ain't used to working. Now he gotta work. So again, Mr. Martel, being the con artist that he is, being lazy, not wanting to be a real man. Only time he wants to be a man is when it comes to using his penis. He once again had to come up with another scheme. So once the judge didn't grant him any money in court, he got denied of being able to get any funds off of Sugar Mama's products and anything else Mel has been receiving. Once he got denied on that, now he's come up with a new scheme, once again, using a woman. Because Martel is used to using women because he's done it with his wife throughout the whole duration of the marriage. He's used to pushing women up to do the hard work so he can sit back and chill and benefit from it. Now he's using Air Mattress Arion to apply for her builder's license. So once again, he can capitalize off of her, and her being the slow boat that she is, the slow bunny that she is. We won't be surprised if this is true. All of this, again, let me say this, all of this is alleged. This is based off my opinion. Everything I state in this video is for entertainment purposes only. Let me make sure I put that out there. So allegedly, the reason why Arion Air Mattress has failed back, and we haven't heard a lot from her, supposedly she's trying to please her man. That's never really going to be her man by getting a builder's license. I won't be surprised if it's true because, again, Martel hides behind women. My thing is, how successful is she going to be at it? Because Arion Air Mattress is not male. Anybody can get a certification, a license, but it takes a certain level of knowledge to be able to know how to apply it. That's like anybody can get a criminal justice degree, but if you don't have what it takes to become a police officer or to become, an FBI agent, then it just states that you qualify. It does not mean that you're fit or you're suited for it. So most likely because Arion Air Mattress pretty much perceives Martel as her Lord and Savior, she feels like he can save her quicker than Jesus Christ himself can. I won't be surprised if she's actually dumb enough to go along with the shenanigans of getting her builder's license, because what happened is Martel will be her mouthpiece. He'll be the one that'll get all if she is pursuing this and she does succeed at it. What happened is Martel is going to completely take over. He's going to be the mouthpiece because he's learned a lot from his ex-wife Mel. Martel is a copycatter. I don't think he's that smart. I think most of the things he says and does, he's learned by mimicking and copying other people. So I believe if he is currently pushing Arion Air Mattress to do this, he's going to make sure he pretty much runs everything. And that'll be up his alley because Arion Air Mattress is not going to buck. Not only that, she so badly wants to be male anyway. She's been trying to become that businesswoman. She's been trying to become that it girl, that it factor. I'm snapping my fingers, y'all. That it factor. She's been trying to be that girl. And her like her baby daddy Martell, everything she has tried has been an epic fail. She's tried to do everything male do. Some things can be imitated but never duplicated. If it's not in you, it does not matter how much you try to force yourself or make yourself become something that you're not. You're not going to succeed in it. And I truly believe that Ariane Air Mattress really wants to prove to Martell that she can be that girl. She can get that builder's license. She can get that she can be that backbone that she knows Martell is looking for. Ariane Air Mattress wants to please Martell with everything in her, even down to sexually. This is why to this day she's still giving him blowjobs. She's still tossing his salad or doing whatever else to try to please him. Ariane Air Mattress is in love with Martell, and she doesn't care at what expense she has to disrespect herself and ruin herself to stay in his good graces. So she's going to try to fulfill his every needs like she did when he was married to Mel. That's why she put in that extra work with blowjobs. She put in that extra work with tossing a salad. She did all of that because she is still trying to prove to Martell that I'm the woman you need to marry. I'm the woman you need to be with, because she can say all of what she want to say and act like she don't want to be married to Martell. She don't want to be with Martell. You don't put in all of this overtime and giving head and taking a man to bed just to be told, I'm not going to marry us being together. She did not put in all this work for nothing. She put in all this work, to try to prove her loyalty to Martell, who's never going to be loyal to her in return. So, nevertheless, that's the word on the curve, y'all, is that she's trying to get a builder license. Good luck to that, because I don't think Ariane Air Mattress is really that smart. I don't think she really have what it takes for that type of career path, but she may be desperate enough to where she's going to do everything she can. But this is the other problem her and Martel are up against. They have such a bad reputation in Huntsville. Who is going to want to do any type of business with Martell and Air Mattress Ariane? Who's everybody knowing, who they are, what they are, and what they have done? Nobody's not going to want to be affiliated with them. It's a disgrace. Martell has been having a hard time trying to collaborate with other, people in Huntsville who have builder's license. That way he could hide behind them, he could shadow behind them. Everyone so far in Huntsville has declined and denied him of partnering with him because of his reputation. And he has the audacity to be in his feelings about it because he don't get it. He's not like, he think he can manipulate, because he can manipulate all women. He can manipulate these men out here who got business licenses and contractor's license or whatever, builder's license, and nobody's not trying to bubble with him. And he thinks everybody is just supposed to forget about what he's done to Mel because he done forgot about it. It's a disgrace. And what Ariane and Martell don't realize, the wicked shall never prosper. And what they really don't understand is both of them together trying to do anything is definitely going to be an epic fail. It's an epic fail, because what these two are not understanding is both of them tarnished God's covenant. What is God's covenant? Marriage. Whenever you marry, ladies, gentlemen, it's more than just a piece of paper. It's more than just a wedding for all your friends to come and see your beautiful dress. It's a spiritual union. And anybody who has ever taken part in tarnishing it, dividing God's covenant, defiling God's covenant, you're not going to be blessed. Martell and Ariane, they're not going to be blessed, because these two really don't understand the purity of marriage and how God honors marriage. Ariane, dear, I don't know if you really read your word. I don't know if you had any spiritual leaders in your life. Like I had a grandmother. Some of us were blessed with having spiritual leaders that taught you how to read your Bible, how to have a relationship with the Lord. My grandmother was one. My grandmother taught me the significance of having a relationship with God, and understanding that knowing that word, it is what protects you from getting yourselves in situations that are very displeasing to God. I don't know if you ever had a real spiritual leader, a grandmother, an aunt, somebody who knows the Lord. I really can't say your mother, because from what I heard, your mother dealt with married men too, which explains a lot. She planted that seed, she created that generational curse, and here it is, you're repeating it. And hopefully your daughter don't repeat it. But she very well may, because you don't have the common sense of a doorknob to break the generational curse, because you are in denial that you are even part of the curse that your mother created. But let's move on. You're not understanding, Arion. Messing with Martel is a detriment to your soul, to your blessings, and to your future. You're not going to progress until you truly repent, ask God for forgiveness, and you leave Martel alone. Just like Hagar had to surrender and leave Sarah and Abraham alone. When Sarah sent her off and said, rid of that slave woman, when Hagar thought she could disrespect Sarah because she had Abraham's son and make a mockery out of him, Sarah told Abraham to rid that slave woman. Other words, get out of here. And guess what the Lord said? When Abraham acted lost and confused, like Martel, like, I don't know what to do. That's between women. That's between them women. I can't do nothing with that. You know how some of these men get when the grits hit the fan. Oh, that's a woman thing. That's between y'all women. You created this. You brought this other woman in our marriage. So, yes, you're going to have two women bickering. Now you want to flee the scene. Abraham wanted to flee the scene. But God told him, whatever Sarah says, that's what you need to abide by. Sarah told him to get rid of that slave woman. And he had to. Abraham had to send Hagar and Ishmael on their separate ways. And God didn't buck it. Nowhere in the Bible did it say Sarah had to submit to Hagar, the slave woman who had a child from her husband. That's what you're not understanding, Arion, like a lot of these side chicks out here. You're supposed to submit to male. Like Hagar had to submit. Hagar had to submit to Sarah and move on with her life in Ishmael. And God still had mercy and said that and assured Abraham that Ishmael was going to be the father of many nations, but he also told him that many of his descendants are going to be at war. That was the curse that Abraham and Hagar brought upon their bastard child when they created Ishmael outside of the marriage of Sarah and Abraham. That was part of the punishment. But God still had mercy. I'm going to keep him. He's going to be a ruler of many nations. But guess what? This is part of it. It's going to be many, many wars to come with the Ishmaelites. And that's what happened. So you still could get blessed even in the mess that you created. But you're not going to get blessed because you're not willing to humble yourself to male. And I don't mean a fake humble where one minute you apologizing, then next minute you saying it's better not to deal with married men. You're saying all of that, but you're still giving Martell fellatio. You're still having sexual relations with him. If you think God is pleased with you, Arion, that you are still sleeping with Martel, think again, because that's why you have not been able to grow or prosper. Martel is not good for your spirit. He's not good for your soul. I don't care how good the sex is, how good the flesh was, because you have to realize you was dealing with Martel within the flesh. That's why everything he gave you felt good to you. Whether if it was his penis, his pockets, money, whatever he was giving you, it felt good to you because you were dealing with him in the flesh. Not realizing that you were signing a deal with the devil. You were signing a deal with the devil. And each time you keep letting Martel come to your house to this day, you sneaking with him, you creeping with him, you sleeping with him, keep in mind that the Lord is keeping score. And every time you sleep with him, you have initialed. You basically signed your initial that I don't care about displeasing God. This is what side chicks got to understand. Every time you lay with a married man, you are basically signing your signature to the Lord that I do not respect none of your covenants, because marriage is a covenant. And see, what you have to realize, Arion, it's bigger than just you and Martel. This is a spiritual warfare. And God is not happy with how you and Martell to handle this. If you don't want to do this because if you don't want to end it because you don't like male, you still want to prove a point to male, or you still in love with Martell, but you don't understand is the biggest part is you are displeasing God. You can't tell me God didn't come and speak to you several times after Martell left your apartment and you didn't feel empty inside. Every time you sleep with a married man, it takes something away from you. You cannot tell me, Ariane, that you don't feel worthless, that you don't feel empty. Every time that man climbs out of your bed and pulls his pants up. I know you're feeling empty, sis. You don't have to put on the show. This is a spiritual sister putting it out there. I know you're feeling empty. You know why you're feeling empty and you're feeling worthless? Because what it's doing is it's withdrawing something from you spiritually. Because Martell cannot put nothing spiritually into you because he has already ruined himself with his wife. And he's going to be ruined for life. You got a chance to escape getting hit by the drive-by. But you have become so infatuated with him, you're willing to stand the test of time, not understanding that every time Martell gets hit, you're going to get hit too. This is the reason why Martell is struggling being able to contribute and give you the lifestyle you used to having. You have become part of the curse. And you still holding on to him, you still dealing with him, it's only blocking your blessings even more. There has been women out here who have messed up, who have gotten involved with married men, who have messed up many happy homes or whatever. And I know in your mind, you don't feel like it was a happy home because if it was a happy home, he never would have been with you. No, honey, he was dealing with you in the flesh, not in the spirit. And that is why every time he sleeps with you, every time he leaves something in you, you feel empty. What you're not understanding is women have messed up. There's women out here who have dealt with men that were married. But because they truly repented, moved on with their lives, stop dancing with the devil, stop making excuses, stop disrespecting and tormenting the wife, because disrespecting male, that's disrespecting God's covenant. It's more than I don't like male. I don't like you have nothing to do with that. She is a woman of God. She was in a covenant with Martell, and you participated in the division of that covenant. If you were to repent, God could still bless you. Even after all this embarrassment, all this scrutiny, if you sincerely humble yourself and you stop sleeping with that man, stop letting him come to your apartment, stop giving him fellatio, stop doing all these sexual favors for him, God can still have mercy and grace. Because one thing about God, his mercy and grace doesn't have an expiration. It doesn't have restrictions. His grace is not like ours. So even though you may have a lot of people around here who may not like you, who don't think you're deserving of getting a husband of your own, who don't think you're deserving of still being blessed and still having more children later on down the line from a man who sincerely loves you, guess what? That don't mean God is not going to do it for you. God can still bless you with your own husband. God can still bless you with a beautiful family years down the line. But at this route, you have already turned your back on God. You done told God, no, I want Martell more than I want to get to know you. Until you purge that demon out of your system, you're going to continuously keep chasing a dream that's never going to come true. You should already be mentally, emotionally, and financially exhausted by now. Everything you do with Martell is going to fail. Because you became a part of that curse. You participated in breaking that covenant. And you have not truly repented. You haven't been sorry about it, Ariane. You don't feel bad. You're biggity. You cocky. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that once you sleep with these married men, all of their evil traits, they become a part of your traits. You was probably already a rebellious, hard-headed young lady. Your mother probably couldn't tell you much of anything. And on top of that, you sleeping with this man. A lot of times, believe it or not, that's why you have to be careful when you sleep or sexually fornicate with other people, because a lot of their bad character traits will implant, will spiritually transfer into you. I told y'all about STDs, sexually transmitted demons. If people understood how powerful sex was, they wouldn't be going around here just having it with everybody and anybody. A lot of your ways are magnified, Arion, because from a spiritual perspective, you've slept with this man so many years, you have become just like him. You've become arrogant. You've become hateful, mean-spirited. You probably wasn't this bad of a person before you knew Martell. I'm sure anybody who knew you before you started getting involved with this married man, you had your ways, but I'm sure you wasn't nothing like you are now. And the bad part is your son, because he's a replica. He is the result of the curse. He was produced from the curse. He's going to be a triple replica. Because you made your son part of the broken covenant. Because you birthed him during the duration of a marriage, which was a covenant. So your son is going to get a triple effect. Don't be surprised. It's not, listen, spiritually speaking, a lot of people think their children have or just have bad behavior. They're hard-headed. They don't listen. Autistic. And all of this other excuses they try to come up with. But believe it or not, a lot of the problems, some of these behavioral issues that these children are having is more spiritual. Everyone is not equally yoked. And when you have a child between two unequally yoked parents in the flesh, that child starts having a lot of spiritual, which people want to label behavioral problems. I said this in my first video I did. It's the spirit little helmet is carrying. And that's another thing. Let me say this right quick. Anybody else who comes in my comment section having a problem with me labeling the illegitimate child as little helmet, you could kick rocks with flip-flops and no socks. Because I said what I said. You got a problem with me calling him little helmet, do not view my channel. Get the hell on. It's just as simple as that. It amazes me how you have these Martel mammies. That's why I'm going to make my Martel mammy shirt, y'all. And when I make my Martel mammy shirt, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live so y'all can see my Martel, my no Martel mammy, no zone. I got the words twisted. It's no Martel mammy zone. I already got the shirts in the making now. Because I'm so tired of women caping for these no good men. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that some of us have been abused, some of us have been used, some of us have been lied to. And we have learned to normalize that. So when we see men like Martell who behave in this manner and disrespect women in this manner, we try to justify it, co-sign. We want to analyze it and understand it. There's nothing to understand. This man failed his duties as a leader. He failed his duties as a husband. He betrayed God. Listen, a lot of these men don't understand. God, the man who haveth a wife, haveth a good thing. God did not give us to these men for them to disrespect us, for them to whore around on us, for them to mistreat us. That is not what God gave one man to man for. We're the weaker vessel. And what I mean by that, not weak as in we can't lift 30, 40 pounds, or, from a physical aspect, or weak ass, we take all kind of stuff and that they normally wouldn't take. That's the worldly way of looking at it. But what I'm saying is the weaker vessel, meaning we're more fragile. God created us to be more softer. So therefore, it's only natural for us to be more sensitive and more emotional when we go through certain things, because God created women to be different. The way we carry ourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, that's what makes us special within itself. So Martell is not understanding a lot of the backlash and all of the opportunities he keeps trying to enforce that are not being granted for him is because he disrespected the Lord. It's one thing, y'all, to disrespect your friends, disrespect your family, but when you disrespect the word of God, that is not something God takes lightly. And Arion and Martell, neither one of you will stop dealing with each other, and neither one of you will repent. And sometimes as women, we have to take the leadership. Mel saw that Martell was not going to man up. He was not going to do the right thing. Mel saw that. She did not wait for Martell to take the initiative to say, you know what, I'm going to stop messing around. I'm going to be a husband. I'm going to stop hoeing. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. She did not wait for him to take the initiative. When time and time kept going and she saw he was not going to stop, she had to lead and actually initiate the divorce, because Martell was going to keep going, keep dragging her, keep having multiple affairs on her. He was not going to stop defiling that marriage. Sometimes as women, when we see our husbands or we see the men are in our lives, they're not taking the leadership abilities that God has called them to be. You have to step in and intervene. And you have to lead for them, even if leading means leaving. Mel had to lead by leave. She had to leave him on his backside. She had to leave him, because he wasn't man enough to say, I really don't want this marriage. I want to do me. I want to be able to have the benefits of coming home, you taking care of the business, being in the front line, taking care of the children, running the business. But at the same time, I want to go out here and do my business and fornicate and commit adultery and do whatever. I want to have the best of both worlds. She had to lead and put a stop to it. Arion, you are going to have to do like Mel. Since you're trying to copy Mel, learn to copy Mel by leaving and getting the hell on and count your loss. Learn to copy Mel since you're trying to copy her hairstyles, her clothes, and everything else. Copy her strength. Copy her strength. Copy the fact she led the situation. You need to lead Martell and say, look, dude, me and you are failing. God keeps blocking our blessings. We're not winning by keeping this thing between us going. Because the thing is, Martell thinks he's free. He thinks because Mel divorced him, that gives him collect 200, pass and go. He's still dishonoring the Lord by fornicating with you, which means that even when you're dealing with him, even though Mel divorced him, you are also reaping the curse of still dealing with Martell. That's a lifetime sentence for Martell, Arion, because he's never going to repent. You can say what you want to say, but you yourself have been disrespected numerous times by Martell. Move Mel out the equation. Move the bloggers out the equation. Move the followers out the equation. When it was just you and Martell alone, nobody but both of y'all, you two, in the bed, in the four walls. How many times has he disrespected you or said something hurtful to make you feel like you were nothing? The way he talks to his wife, I could imagine, well, ex-wife, how he talks to you now. And let me tell you something, Arion. This is the trick to dealing with married men. Once they have lost something they realize is valuable to them, over a woman they feel was not of value, the woman who's still hanging on that's not of value, they will still never take you to that promised land, meaning you're not going to get that ring. You're not going to get that commitment. Because let me tell you something, Ariane. If you don't think so, Martel is still secretly holding you accountable for how he lost his marriage. He's not taking accountability for that. As far as he's concerned, that's your fault. And I bet $1,000 if he ain't already told you it's your fault. If you would have just did what I told you to do, if you wouldn't have been around here running your mouth, he blamed his wife. So I know he's done it with you. Side chicks be thinking they're going to win, and they never do. Can't tell me he still don't blame you. Can't tell me few times you and him may have argued or got into it, he didn't throw it up in your face. You the reason why I lost everything. Listen, let me tell you something. If he gave you any inclination, Ariane, if you don't hear nothing else that I say, if he gives you any inclination, I don't care if he said it in the heat of the moment, if he said anything in those lines as to it's your fault, or you caused this, or I wouldn't have been where I was now, or had you just listened, if he said anything, that's already a red flag. He's not going to be with you, because he needs a reason to blame someone other than himself, and to make himself feel better about his effed up decision, you're going to be the scapegoat. If you heard any of them words, you wasting your time. And that's just the bottom line. Revelations 21:8. Chapter 21, verse 8. But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for the murderers, the sexual, immoral, sorcerers, adulterers, and all liars, their portion will be in a lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. I hope you're understanding that there's a second life after we leave this earth. After the spirit departs the body, not only you got to pay for what you do here, you're going to have to pay for what you do when the good Lord calls you home. You want an additional punishment on top of the punishment you already facing, Ariane? You really want to go to hell over a married man who has failed you? This is grown woman talk. This ain't about trying to prove your ego, about trying to prove a point, about, trying to preserve your image. This is real life. You read your word, it'll become more and more clear to you why you're going through the things that you're going through. Dealing with the married man is sealing a deal with the devil. There's no blessings in that. You're not going to prosper from that. And nothing is too hard for God. But when you're walking around here acting like you didn't do nothing wrong, you already wrong, but you're strong in it. You had the audacity. You disrespected his wife tremendously. You sat up here and told this woman, how, all the sexual, you shared all the sexual details and intimate moments that you had with Martel. Everything that he's done to you in the bedroom and what you've done to him, and not understanding that everything you was doing with this married man, all you did was bring a curse onto yourself. And a curse onto your son. It was more than climaxing. You created a curse. While you thought you were climaxing, you created a curse. While you thought you was busting a nut, you was creating a nuisance. And this is why things are where they are. If you really think about it, you have not progressed with Martel. And this Melanie and Martel been divorced 3 years. And there's still no progress. You have gotten no further than what you are. Where's the growth? What have you benefited so far other than you don't have to sneak and have sex anymore? He could come over there freely. I think that's one thing that's changed now. He's more open with it now. He doesn't have to hide you or creep to your house 2, 3 in the morning. So I guess it's you get more frequent visits. I'm sure that has changed. Martell is trying to keep you at bay so you don't ask for child support. It's still about him. He's doing just enough to get by so he can get around only having to do kibbles and bits for you and your son. First Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2nd verse. But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. So this was nothing new under the sun. God already knows by nature a lot of us are going to, at some given point, fall prey to the flesh. We are all at some point going to fall into the alignment of temptation. Like today, I'm so tempted to go get a slice of chocolate cake because I love chocolate cake, knowing that I'm pre-diabetic and not even supposed to mess with that stuff. But don't worry, I'm going to be hitting the gym up too. Anyway, God knows that we battle with the spirit and with the flesh. That is the reason why he gave us the privilege of marriage. So we don't go around here burning in flesh, fornicating with any and everybody, or just burning in flesh. He gave us the blessing of marriage. That way we can have our sexual needs fulfilled, sexual desires fulfilled from our husbands. Nowhere in the Bible does God co-sign and says each man should be able to have any woman he wants, and each woman should be able to have any man she wants. Nowhere in the Bible does God grant us access to be able to go around here and smash, have all kind of smash sessions and sex sessions with multiple people. That's not what God designed sex for. Y'all doesn't. Sex is being used to fulfill the flesh when God created sex to produce a family, and it's a covenant sealant in marriage. A lot of y'all got that twisted, and that's why a lot of us are, and a lot of you, Arion, are in the situation you in now. But like Luke 1 chapter 37, for nothing will be impossible with God. There's as much as we don't like people, certain people we feel ain't deserving of second chances. Certain people we feel like God should just ridicule and send to the pits of hell. You know, God is still going to bless our enemies. God can still make those who we don't think that are deserving, he could still prosper them. He could still bless them to prosper. You on the other hand, you know, we don't get to dictate who God chooses to bless or not bless. That's what makes him God. You know, human beings, when somebody has done something wrong, we want them banned for life. We want them scorned for life. We want them sent to the pits of hell, never come back. We want them to vacation with the devil himself internally. But truth be told, none of us are built big enough to where we can dictate how God is going to bless that person. So Arion, you can still be blessed, but that's not going to happen because you love Martell more than you love God. And he's going to continue to be your downfall. And Martell loves his flesh more than God. I ain't going to say Martell loves Arion because he does not. He didn't even love his own wife, Melanie. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 28. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. This pretty much draws me to the conclusion that Martel never loved himself. What men don't understand is once you marry, your wife becomes a part of you. That's like your right arm, your left arm. That's like your heartbeat, whatever. Y'all become as of one. So if you are fornicating and having sex with women outside of your marriage, that means that you don't, for one, respect and honor God in his covenant, and for two, you don't love yourself, because your wife is a part of you. You don't love yourself and you don't love your wife. He who loves his wife loves himself. And that's what Martel is not clicking. The screws are missing. He's one sandwich away from a picnic. The mall is open and ain't nobody shopping. He one donut away from a dozen of Krispy Kremes. He don't get it. He's supposed to, the way he loves himself, he's supposed to love Mel that same way. How he loved Mel, the way he loves himself and the way he loves his penis. He would have definitely been an awesome man of God had he put all that energy into screwing and lying and manipulating, and he had put all that energy into loving his wife. Baby, he could have been a powerful man of God. First Corinthians chapter 6 verses 9 through 11. Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor adulterers, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men with practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. This is just what him and Arion is dealing with right now. This is just earthly payments. But when the body but when the spirit withdraws from the body and you have to cross over to the afterlife, that's still the next punishment that's going to be waiting on the both of them. They're not understanding that. This is bigger than people just talking about you, the bloggers coming at you, people opinionating on you. Girl, if you, God, whatever, you don't know, none of us know when we have an appointment with God. Until you handle your business, until you get at peace with him. If you're not at peace with God, Arion, I suggest you find it. Because Martel ain't going to get to dictate whether you go to heaven or hell. If you even believe in God. And that may be one of the problems, because you never talk about God, you never acknowledge him. So I'm assuming that you don't even connect with him. And because of that, the enemy is going to continue to have his way. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to shut it down because I've been getting calls. My mama just called me. My husband been calling me. I appreciate y'all being so patient. Every time you heard my ringtone going off, disregard that. People like to call me in the mornings, and I don't always warn people when I'm going live. So people catch me off guard. But nevertheless, y'all, I appreciate it, ladies. If you want to continue to donate to this channel, bless me, you want to see my channel continue to grow and prosper, you're welcome to donate. My Cash App is on the thumbnail. I'm gonna leave it in the comment section. I also have a Zelle. If you rather actually purchase something from me versus just donating, I do sell tumblers, I do sell bags. I mean, if you look at my community tab, you will see it there. I customize these things. So anyway you choose to bless me. Also, some of y'all been hitting me up about the cable. I've been reaching back to y'all, but y'all haven't been reaching back. Maybe y'all been busy. I do still sell cable. I got 2 Fire Sticks on hand. If you want a Fire Stick today, let me know, so when I'm out, I can ship it off to you. My Fire Stick is $60, and it will come with 1 month already loaded on there of 9,000 channels. all the VH1s, all your Netflix. I'm sure a lot of y'all don't get Netflix no more because Netflix done went up. I got a lot of Netflix originals. I have a lot of classics on my Fire Stick like Sanford and Son, What's Happening, New York Undercover. You know, all the things, all the shows from the 80s and 90s. I'm an 80s baby, y'all. I got the classics. I got y'all current shows. So paying for all these apps like Showtime, HBO, Stars. Don't pay for all those multiple different apps. I got Stars, I got HBO, I got every premium network, VH1, I got several BETs, I got several Lifetime channels, I got your Bravo, I got your live streaming package. So no lot of y'all are probably paying over $100 something for cable. Make your life a little easier. Save some money so you can buy your kids, your grandkids, get your hair and your nails done. My cable is only $25 a month. And trust and believe, I don't sell sloppy stuff. But your internet got to be 30 megabytes per second or higher. I tell people, if you want good streaming, invest in some good internet. Invest in top of the line internet. That way your streaming is good. If you're currently using Netflix or Hulu and you don't have problems with streaming, then you should be good to go. Inbox me and I'll do this one time. Matter of fact, for $65, I'll put 2 months. I'm stepping out on a limb. 2 months of cable on your Fire Stick. How about that? For $65, I'll give you 2 months. All right, and then you won't have to pay your next cable bill. We're going in May, June, so July. You can't beat that. And then if you send someone to me, every customer you send to me, I'm going to knock $5 off your bill. So if you send me 2 customers, your bill will go from $25 to $15 a month. Y'all, listen, I'm trying to make y'all life easier. And my cable is the bomb, okay? I don't do raggedy stuff because my name is on it. You feel me? So I'm not going to rip you off. I don't play that. All right, but you got to have good internet. That's the main thing. If you stay in the woods and your internet signal is bad, then I don't advise you to get it because you're going to get bad reception and you're going to swear it's my fault. And you're going to be bad mouthing me. I don't get no cable from Mocha. Mocha cable is garbage, honey. She was up here making us think that she had the best of cable, honey. And when I got that Fire Stick, that thing was just as raggedy, honey. No. Whatever I put my name on, it's going to be legit. So anyway, y'all be blessed. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Y'all have a wonderful weekend and take care, ladies. Be blessed. Talk to you soon. Bye.